What I want to answer in this first half hour here, kind of what do you hear, what can you expect to get, and give you a big picture of where the rest of the day is going to let all the pieces hopefully fit into there. Jim is going to come and really talk about making websites perform. He has a lot of experience in really optimizing websites for high-producing real estate agents. And it's incredible. I saw it the first time I got him involved because I knew he did this stuff. But the first time I saw his presentation, I'll tell you, I was impressed. So hopefully you'll get a lot of value out of this as well. I'm going to come back and talk about engaging consumers online. This is really where this is my forte. I use a lot of social networking tools, blogging tools, and other things that I'll explain as we go forward. But I'm going to come back and talk about that for about an hour. And then finally, Jim is going to come back and really tell you how do you track and measure your internet marketing success. This turns out as well to be just an incredibly valuable piece of the day because the tracking, especially when you start going online, it's critical to be paying attention to what is working for you, both in terms of your time and your money that you spend. Because the beauty of going online is it's really pretty basic often to track stuff. So they give you these great tools, and he's going to talk about some of them in the final bit there. And that's going to end the day. I'll come back with a short little final for the day.
I want to tell you a quick story about a sheep herder. There's a sheep herder who is out tending his sheep, and off in the very distance, he's got thousands of acres and tens of thousands of sheep. He sees this little puff of smoke coming up a dirt road. And it gets closer and closer and closer, and eventually he realizes it's a Range Rover. He's thinking, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, here's a Range Rover. And he gets really close to the Range Rover. The guy slams on his brake, jumps out, comes up, shakes his hand, and says, hi, how are you? And he says, fine. And he goes, look, I can tell you what you do for a living. And the sheep herder looks around and sees all of the sheep and says, okay. And he goes, you're a sheep herder. The sheep herder's fairly unimpressed, and he says, I can also tell you how many sheep you have. And the sheep herder's thinking, these aren't all my sheep. I have thousands of acres. There's sheep everywhere. How is this guy possibly going to do this? He says, oh, okay. And the guy says, well, tell you what. If I can tell you how many sheep you have, then I get one of the sheep. He said, that's a fair bet. Let's do that. So he jumps in his Range Rover, pushes a button, and all this antenna and revolving stuff comes out. He's tapping on his laptop, and he comes back and he says, you have 9,432 sheep. And the sheep herder says, wow, that's really impressive. I don't even know that, but that's really, really close. So the guy walks over, grabs one of the animals, throws it in the back of his Range Rover, and the sheep herder says, wait. I'll bet I know what you do for a living. And the guy says, okay, that's fair. And he says, you're a consultant. And the guy's blown away. He said, how do you know that? He said, well, look, you came where you weren't invited. You gave me information I already know, and you don't really know what you're talking about. Now, could you take my dog out of the back of your car, please? I'm a consultant. Today, I hope I didn't come where I'm not wanted. I will give you information that you already have. Some of the stuff that we talk about is patently obvious. Some of it is not.